Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're doing really well wherever you're at in the world. Today, I'd like to talk to you guys about visualization and if this is actually necessary to manifest your reality. So, I really thought about this and I spent my entire day really thinking about why are there some people that can visualize and get the things that they want, but there's a whole bunch of people that just cannot imagine or see things through their mind's eye. Let me tell you that with the law of assumption, whatever you believe to be true is, and if you are someone that says they cannot visualize or they cannot use their mind's eye, their third eye, or their intuition to attract the thing that they want, then whatever you believe to be true is. If we were to say that we have some kind of like health issue related that we cannot visualize, remember that anything can change based off of a state. And every kind of feeling or belief that we have is a state of being, is a state of consciousness, is a state of awareness. So if I believe that I couldn't do something, or I believe that it wasn't possible if I got in an accident to walk again, then you would, because you assumed something to be true, then it just never would ever happen, right? Or certain diseases will never be healed unless the mind can actually overcome that. But I'm not knocking anybody that they can, because with the law of assumption, whatever you believe to be true is true. So if I believe that I don't need to visualize and all I need to do is just imagine by affirming the things in my mind, then guess what? That's all you need to do, because whatever you assume to be in your reality, that's what it is. But remember that when I share Neville's work, and I was walking today thinking about the same question, it's like a lot of people would say, I cannot act, or how can I imagine something that has never existed? How can I be a millionaire if that never happened? When Neville speaks of have to walk as if, you have to talk as the person that is that person. You have to become the person. And you're like, well, how can I become something that I haven't became yet? The way that this works when we are asking these questions is, what would I feel like if I had $1 million? What would you feel like? Would you be excited? Would you be happy? Oh, I'm so grateful and thankful that I can't believe I got $1 million, right? So we say this as an affirmation. That is a confirmation, an affirmation of the thought that you just thought. So that's all you need. You don't have to overcomplicate, oh, I've never been in this place, or I never lived in this country that I want to move to. So how can I imagine something that has never existed? Look, you and reality, and I say this, is that you and reality are not separate. You and consciousness are one. You have to become one with it. We can simply look at, let's say you want to live in like Costa Rica or whatever. You would go online, look at some pictures, and then you would imagine it. But then someone would say, well, I can't imagine. What we are doing is looking at the image and closing our eyes. If you believe that you can, you can. But if you believe that you can't and assume you can't, then you can't. But the thing is, it's not necessary. We can just use affirmations. I am so happy now that I live in this blank. I'm so grateful now that I have this. When Neville spoke of the law of assumption, he would use visualization, but he would also tell you to use affirmations, that you would affirm the thing or think of the thought, because everything begins with that. When we are thinking of the thought, we are entertaining only the things that we want. So we entertain it by thinking about it. Like, okay, I want to do this. Like, I want this house. Wouldn't it be nice if I had this beautiful dream home? Okay, how would I feel if I had this dream home? Wouldn't I be happy? I'm so happy and grateful that I got this beautiful home, my dream home. So we can ask these questions like, how would I act? What would I have to become to be this person? Like, wouldn't you want to just pick up a book on the most successful person if you want to become that? And then you would take notes of the character of that person, of how is he becoming, how is he acting, what is he doing, and take those characteristics and those traits of that person and use that as your ground base, as your ideal of the person that you want to become. And then we can use that as a way to draw the thing to us. So instead of imagining, we simply affirm. Because when I was walking through my day, I'm like, look, 99% of the time, I don't even actually see the images in my mind. When I am saying act as someone that has it, you know what? If you don't know how to act and play make believe, then I understand, because this is something we've done at a very young age and we forgot about this over a long period of time. So it's going to take practice to get that back. But in most cases, when we are in this state, we are not pretending, we are in this state and we're just affirming, I'm so happy, I am so happy, everything in my reality looks the way I want it to. Everything is always conforming to the way I want to see it. I am so lucky in this place. Everywhere I go, I'm always the center of attention. I attract everything in my life. Look at, you came to this planet and you deserve everything. You deserve everything. You deserve the finance. You deserve the love in your life. You deserve to have the dream home. You deserve to have everything you ever wanted. But when we start thinking of the, oh, I can't do this because I have bills to pay, I cannot just imagine or make believe and make those bills go away. This is not what that means, because this is a comment I got where, well, I can't just act or play or make believe. I have to be realistic, or I'm a realist. That the way that this is working is that this is a state of being. When my attention is on the awareness of I'm going to lose everything, I got all this debt, I got all these bills to pay, that we are putting our awareness to lack. We're bringing attention to that. So when we were talking about quantum physics, quantum jumping, and quantum leaping, the last video I made, you probably should listen to that. But the way that works is that reality doesn't exist without the observer. And when we're putting our awareness or consciousness to the particular thing, then we are drawing that environment, we're drawing that possibility, we're drawing that reality into our existence. So even though I still have these bills to pay, those are in front of you. You better take care of those, because you've led yourself all the way up to this situation that you are in now. And yeah, you can make that disappear over fucking night. You can make it disappear if you really want to. I don't mean to swear. You can make it disappear in the next hour if you wanted to. But it's your belief internalized within. Can I believe that I can actually get this money overnight? There's lots of different ways. I'm not going to give you any financial advice on what you can do, but literally the other weekend, I heard about something in crypto, and I'm not really big in crypto. And I know I missed Bitcoin many, many, many times. I could have gotten when it was like $100, and I had 25 grand to my name. And I was like, and the person that I had a relationship, when I asked her, what should I do with this? And guess what happened? My ex said to me, nah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't put your money in Bitcoin. If I put that money into there, I'd probably have like what, $100 million. I don't know. But the thing is, I had a bad view towards crypto. I had bad view towards something because of missing out. So I had beliefs around it that it wasn't possible because I've already missed the boat. Now, if I believed that I missed it, I would have just washed away and just put this opportunity to aside and say, no, 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 that's not going to work because I've already missed that train. But then I heard from someone, so I put in a couple $100 and I turned that into $5,400 in 48 hours. Now, I'm not telling you to go do it because you probably would lose all your money, but it's the state of being, because I know you're going to get this calling to do something. It's called inspired action. You don't have to force the action. I heard it over a conversation and I heard a couple words, and then I looked that up and I invested into that and I made money. But is that going to happen in your reality? Don't just go jumping in because, oh, I'm just going to try to assume it and make it. Hey, you possibly can, but you want to take advantage of your reality, because what the universe is doing, God, whatever you want to call it, the infinite intelligence, when you are shifted into the state that says, I am not broke, I am the one that has everything taken care of, what your reality will start doing is start conforming to it. It's going to be like, oh, maybe, oh, he's open, so maybe I should show him this. Oh, he doesn't like that? Okay. Well, what should I show him? I don't know. Maybe should I show him maybe this opportunity? Or how about this? And this? And this? And it's really up to us now that we are aware of our reality and we are staying in this state, meaning we are not wavering from it, and we are affirming over and over and over that state, whether you believe it or not. You don't have to believe the words that you're saying when you're using your affirmations. We are just affirming until we can crowd the mind, like Neville would say, is crowd the mind till no other thought exists into that. And he says this over and over in The Power of Assumption, that book. He's literally said that a whole bunch of times about crowding your mind until that one thought exists. And when that thought becomes your primary thought of all, then it becomes your new belief, and then it gets impressed into your subconscious, and then it gets expressed out. So when we are staying in the state of that wish fulfilled, everything is going to being thrown at you like, oh, how about this? How about this? How about this idea? How about this? The only thing we have to do is stay in this state. Every reality, when we talk about quantum physics, is really just a state of consciousness and staying in that state. So we are not make-believing, we are not pretending, we are not acting as if. We are becoming that state of being, that state, that person, that self-concept that has whatever it is that they are wanting. And we are affirming. So if I were to go into the wish fulfilled, or when I go to sleep at night and someone say, well, I cannot visualize or imagine by the thoughts. We are entertaining the thoughts of what that is. So if like, imagine what would it be like, who would be there? We would entertain the thoughts of who would be there. My best friend this, my cousin this, and my brother this. And then we picture that and say, and at the end of that, you would say what? Thankful. You would be thankful, like gratitude. I'm so grateful. Thank you that it happened. Thank you, it is done. Thank you. So we would just imagine that, and when we say thank you, all of that other stuff doesn't even really matter. We're just trying to picture this by creating the feelings and hopefully the imaginary state, but that's not necessary. But we can simply just think of it and saturate our mind until this thing comes into existence. So literally, it's up to you to use both, or visualization, or just strictly thoughts, because everything is thoughts anyways. So if we manage this and our thoughts, then we can create our reality through that by creating our assumptions of those beliefs. Whatever you believe to be true is. You could take one idea or not. But we do know is we never want to entertain the reality that we do not want. If you're saying that I'm broke, or I'm saying I'm never lucky, or I'm never going to get with that person that I'm in love with. They just never, that's not possible. And we just go into this weird state. We're shifting right back to the other state of the one that doesn't have it. So that's what's called wavering. We don't want to waver whether what reality is showing us. So when we're saying, oh, the bills, I can't just ignore it, we just don't waver from the state of someone that's successful, because that person, none of that even exists. None of those things exist in a person that has all their stuff taken care of. It's just like, with, someone we're trying to manifest, like a specific person, we're already with it, with that person. There shouldn't be third parties, and none of that should even exist, because we are creating things within our own mind. And the best version of us doesn't have all that to worry about. Even like thinking like nothing exists unless we put our attention and awareness to that thing. Okay? So if my attention and awareness isn't to it, it would just disappear and fade away. That's the quantum world as well. And the reason why I talk about quantum physics a lot is because there's still a lot of people with their logical mind, and they need to have some type of reasoning why this works. Science will never catch up to, they just won't catch up to the spiritual realm and to what's happening within us. Maybe they can get a glimpse of that reality, and we're even trying to figure out the God particle itself. But we are all that. We are all the creators of our reality. We are all God. We are all here to be a part of this bigger realm to create the reality that we want. Why would God say, hey, I created you to go live your experiences, but you can't change your height? You can have everything in the world you want, but you can't change your sex. You can have everything in the world you want, but you can't have blue eyes. You can't have different color hair. You cannot change anything in this part of the reality, but hey, you can go ahead and change this. No, there is nothing in this world that you cannot have that already exists in this field of infinite potentials and infinite possibilities. So you can say that, oh, maybe one day it's going to come, then that's never going to come. Or someday, one day, because that reality of someday will always be someday. We are shifting into the state of literally putting you into a new reality where that potential already exists. And your reality, whether we see that with our eyes and our physical world, because we do not see it doesn't mean it's not happening. The world will conform and catch up to you and start aligning that potential that is within your mind, within you. Because without the observer, reality wouldn't exist, and reality exists based off of the observer and the thoughts that it's putting out into the field. And every thought that you're putting out into this field creates a pattern, creates a frequency, and the frequency of reality picks up on the thoughts and the waves that are going through it. Everything is created through this. And it's up to you to master this. Our thoughts, our self, our being, our inner being, everything of our outer world is all a reflection of our inner world. It's a mirror. It's an illusion. Nothing is existing without you, the internal. So when you become one with reality, then everything is all yours. You just have to assume you are. This is not a difficult process, becoming one with it. I am one with it. I am the universe. I am in love with life. I am everything that would ever need to have to. I am everything in existence. I am always I am more than enough to bring the things that I want in my life. So if you still want to learn more about manifestation and you want to level up your reality, then check out this video here to take you to the next level.